Peace FM 104.3. Good to meet
Not possible. One more no must start dealing with Mr. Amidu. Your friend is saying resignation letter. Your resignation letter no. And or public press release. Pacho ewaha. Now what kind of man na? There, well, we mean to say inconsistency, but they don't meet as such. When come your friend is saying resignation letter the command manpanina. Saying tipa or say person obey adwanu biom and say number 1 akatua say the man any sika say ko na adwuma no mu no odimidi adwuma no enkoye.
I thought number 1 is interference.
What am I? Okay. I'm talking about the letter he sent to the president. Yes. 2 Kwame or say when you know Abraham nyina so mampani per se obekire no de onye me fi say eno ne ye ehu hia pa ama ye nyina no e say na de ana papa yi o ama no ka sa asem yi na me de me kan wie no me kan say na obi o ka say mampani interfere with and I say on my directive bia efa adwuma bia wa ye ho a anya bia de na wo maye hu directive ko no se no sika no na say na wo si etifa no na chama de na oka bibi wa no which I found interesting and I should share it. Or say that is in the resignation letter.
Or say it thus became abundantly clear to me that I cannot continue under your government as a special prosecutor because we disagree on the non-partisan independence of special prosecutor in the performance of the functions of my office in preventing and fighting corruption and corruption-related offenses. And this was in a meeting with the president ahead of the resignation. Yeah. And some meeting or say one can't try president to stay or resign you. But now when the say I dare obey then obey resign. This meeting took place in October. Chamajana.
Yeah.
A trial bedi 16 best abusumi intem. Na the entire was say or resign pa no. Kwame. The press release no mu. The last paragraph was the events of 12 November 2020 removed the only protection I had from the threats and plans directed at me. He doesn't say from who or by who. For undertaking the Ajapa Royalties Limited Transactions Anti-Corruption Assessment Report and dictates that I resign as a special prosecutor immediately.
Why?
Okay, Mr. Amidu. Or you see where it be when he was working on the Woyome case.
Yeah.
Or say he is not afraid of death. And that the day you die, you never know you ever lived. I took that phrase from him. I thought that is the character he wanted us all to believe.
But if you die, you won't even know.
Whatever, and that's what he said. He said, because if you die, he's not afraid of death because I said, obey bibi no bibi kuno. If he say ukuma, unu kra say no tiase. Nti wo say wo. Tiase. Nti wo nya bibi a osuro.
But wo say o hwe.
That's right. Nti wo nya asama, nya de osuro. That's the point.
That's right.
Not to say he will say event of 12 November. Kwame. Without mentioning. Bibi no we see God had where so glaring and clear. Say Mampanida da Rollins who ye on 12 November. Nampacha Nibia, Mampanida da Rollins. How was he protecting him? That his death could no longer protect. And Nibia, there was all resigns here, you know.
Say indeed, if there was a threat, resignation no, and the Bema threat no everyone na. And in some or no kind no, yet the tutun senior me pacho, na em say, unu say, Busremuka, any intrasobi, ados womb. Now, okay, be so, and I know, base. Now, Minibo Bay. Okay, your friend is saying resignation no. When we make allegation be one, it is nowhere in the report.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or say, more importantly, Your Excellency was acting as a judge in your own cause, in usurping my functions to take any independent follow-up action on the anti-corruption assessment report when you knew, Joe, from my 13-page letter of 16 October 2020, conveying the conclusions and observations of the anti-corruption assessment report to you, that negative anti-corruption assessments have been made against the conduct of your office in the procedure adopted in granting the executive approval dated 24 March 2020 and your assent of the Minerals Income Investment Amendment Act 2020, Act 1024, on 27th August 2020, intended to retroactively impact the parliamentary approval of the transactions. Kwame, okay, report no sadie enya dia ewom. And so o make this allegation ni ewo the resignation letter no. Na chama general papa na report no ewu ya say nyina ye do so. The purpose of the report and the nature of the report, they are contained in his concluding remarks. The last but one paragraph and the last paragraph. Kwame And why it was necessary for the president to take the action he's begrudging the president for taking. I say this, and I'm quoting what I read as the purpose. This office accordingly hopes that the foregoing analysis of the risk of corruption and anti-corruption assessment of the processes leading to the parliamentary approval of the transaction document will be received in good faith, and used to improve current and future legislative and executive actions to make corruption and corruption-related offenses very high-risk enterprises in Ghana. Now, the nature of the report, this assessment does not constitute an investigation, even though a formal investigation for the suspected commission of corruption and corruption-related offenses may arise from this corruption risk assessment. One hour, so why assessment the way no officers or investigation? Then they see who can. Now, Chama General, Office of the President response or the abano. I'm a young pepe say, the kind. Let me say in the office, young Musicano, and Yano crack. In fact, to the extent class say, normal practice are ministries and agencies. Musika yedema almost want me and you so and now one utilize ya. You return to consolidated fund no. Me no kasa in praying. Sika yedema 2018, 2019. I want me and you so ni na no. Eda ya roll over that's good one account to me. What resources is he complaining that the office or the government has stabbed him off? Yet also you recruitment and our personnel or no be or don't be ejuma. I know the area me can yank beboa. Or say the compensation budget for the office of special prosecutor in 2019 was not utilized because your office was not able to recruit relevant staff by the end of the year. In 2019 financial clearance financial clearance was given to your office to recruit 249 staff. As at the end of the year, the staff had not been recruited. The failure of your office to recruit personnel cannot be laid at the doorstep of the government. Kwame, more. Or say, it is clear, sir, now also here PPA approval. Office of the President responds this way. Martin Amidu, it is imperative to state that your office, duly established as a procurement entity by law, is clothed with full capacity to engage in procurement of goods, works, and services. Prior to the grant of procurement entity status to your office, you publicly attributed your failure to recruit and engage in proper procurement of goods, works, and services to the failure of the Public Procurement Authority to consider and grant your application when you had the power to do so. Yet, as we speak, the PPA has granted Sardina our request here now. Tamandena, the Mecca, dear, we say, a year, Katashani Proye, a corner, ye pesa ye two, ye ana ye con, a woman. I say, ye chere damn for. Or bakun damn for money ye. That's number one. Number two, Kwame. And ye dede, and ye decon. And then yet, the ubon mumu, and the woman ye. Undercover work must be done quietly, seriously, expeditiously, and with hard facts. Now, ya no, na ene edane letter tro, ye nim try near tra by all means. Ebeko kowie dia kowie. Aputuo ni adesrede a mede be man say, "Man me yeba mumbu." If you say, "Enye we ene be determine 2020 abatuo no." People will not forget the fact say, "Tawanjera."
Ana me da say, omraso.
Oh,
people will not forget the fact say ebi oba second round na dia ye.
okay, Martin.
This FM 104.3. Who to me take